It's your man Alex, and in this video, I'm going to be showing you guys my take on a side sweep self haircut with a crispy clean mid fade. So let's get right into it. So to get started with this self haircut, I'm going to be making my first guideline using my trimmers, and I'm only going to be going up about ½ an inch just above my ears, and then as I get toward the back of my head, I'm going to slightly drop it toward the occipital ridge. And if you're also someone that struggles with the mirror setup and how to maneuver your body using the mirrors, I made a video on what is the best mirror setup for self haircuts. I'll make sure I leave that linked in the cards section above for you. For the second guideline, I'm going to be using my Babyliss clippers with the no guard lever open position, and I'm only going to be going up about 3/4 to 1 whole inch for the guideline. Now, I want to stress to you guys, if you're especially a beginner when you're cutting your own hair, one of the big mistakes that I used to make when I first started giving myself fades was that I didn't spread out the guidelines enough. So I would only go up maybe 1/3, not even ½ of an inch for the guidelines. And when you do this, you're not giving yourself enough room to go back and fade in the hard lines. So that was a big mistake that I used to make for so many years, and I hope you understand that by watching this video right now, and you actually go ahead and spread each guideline about 3/4 to 1 whole inch all the way around your head. Now moving forward with the number 1 guard lever open, doing the same exact thing, going up 3/4 to 1 whole inch all the way around my head, doing my best to make sure that each guideline is even on the sides and the back of my head. Now the next guideline, I'm going to be using the number 2 guard lever open. So you can see the similarities with the guideline sequence that I use. I'm putting in all of the guidelines first, and then I'm going to go back and fade all of those hard lines last. But also notice how I'm going in sequential order with the guards, right? Trimmer, no guard lever open, 1 guard, number 2 guard, and then I'm going to go number 3 guard lever open as well. So every single guard that you see, I put in the guideline with the lever open, and that always helps when I go back and fade because I can always adjust the lever to the halfway or closed position, and that helps with the fading. But with that being said, number 2 guard was the same thing as the other guards, going up 3/4 to 1 inch, and then I'm just using the number 3 guard to flick out the rest by the part line. So now all of the guidelines are in on my head, and now it's time to start fading. So the first hard line is probably going to be the hardest for most people. Now, I've pretty much solved the issue that most of us have with a 3-step process. It's a simple 3-step process. So I started off using the no guard lever halfway, and I go up halfway through that first guideline, and this will get rid of about 50% of the hard line. So I'm just doing a little bit of a mild flick out motion, and I'm only going up halfway through that guideline with a flick out motion, all right? This is just going to soften up the hard line by about 50%. Now, I'm going to use this same exact clipper, no guard, lever closed. So I'm just going to adjust the lever to the closed position, and then pretty much start from underneath the hard line, go up, hit the hard line, and flick away. One thing that you don't want to do is create a new hard line accidentally by going up too high with the no guard lever closed. So just flick out directly at the hard line, and then if you need to, because that only got rid of 90% of the hard line, give or take, go back to the trimmers, which was the same guard and lever position you used to put in the hard line in the first place, and the trimmers should get rid of 100% of all the hard line within that first hard line. Now to remove the second hard line, I'm going to be using the half guard with the lever closed. Now, pretty much doing the same thing I did with the no guard lever closed. I'm starting underneath that hard line. I'm going up, I'm hitting the hard line, and I'm following through a little bit with a flick out motion. So I'm going up underneath, hitting it, going up a little bit as I flick out at the same exact time. And so this should get rid of majority of the second hard line. If you need to, you can gradually open the lever as well. Now going in with the 1.5 guard lever closed, I'm going to be removing the next hard line, following the same exact steps that I've been showing you throughout the fading process. So we're starting from underneath the hard line, going up, hitting it and flicking away at the same exact time. And again, if you need to, you can always adjust the lever a little bit from the lever closed to the lever halfway to open, and if you really need to, you can go back to the number 1 guard lever open as well. So now that majority of the fade is complete, I can go in with my thinning shears and do what's called the thinning shear over comb technique. Now what this does is blend in that faded portion on the sides and back gradually into the longer length on the top of my head. So it's a really awesome technique, and the tools are very affordable, less than $10–15. So I highly recommend you get them if you don't have them, and they're fantastic for blending in the hair, and it only cuts about 20% of the hair every time you snip. And if for some reason you still see hard lines or bulky areas within the fade, I like to do the thinning shear in reverse technique, which is a technique that I actually discovered when cutting my own hair, and I noticed that it does a great job of removing all of the hard line and bulky areas within the fade. So if you still see little errors within your fade, this is a great way to get rid of those hard lines and bulky spots. And so now to give myself a crispy lineup, I'm going to be using my headband to pull back my hair while I go in with my small scissors just to trim the hairs by my forehead. Now I'm going to go in with my trimmers to do the vertical bars as well as the C-cup to really make that lineup stand out and give it those crispy clean edges. To style my hair, I'm going to be using my mystery clay, which is a 6-ingredient all-natural hair clay that I've been making in my kitchen for many months. My goal is to create a non-toxic hairstyling product that gives you a beautiful high hold matte finish and also nourishes your hair at the same time. Stay tuned for more updates. This is my take on a side sweep self haircut. Let me know in the comments below how you think the haircut turned out and what other hairstyles you'd like me to try out next. But make sure you leave a like, subscribe to my channel, and check out this video if you want to take your self haircuts to the next level.